when we look at something like Osho or Scientology, it's easy to see, isn't it? That although they talk about God and spirituality and being nice to the environment and get in touch with yourself, basically they're lying, cheating organisations, and there's many of them. Aetherius Society, the list is very long. In fact, it's nearly all of them. It's difficult to find a genuine, honest, sincere spiritual institution who actually know what they're talking about. Vatican Church is corrupt. In fact, find something good quality is difficult. And there's usually three motives. The two big ones are women and money. For instance, Osho, he wanted women and money. Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, he was into women and money. But there is a third one. There's fame, be important, be worshipped. So that's George King. He didn't like women. He wasn't interested in hanky. But he did like money. But most of all, he wanted to be worshipped. That was his big narcissistic Achilles heel. Someone like Krishnamurti, the first Krishnamurti, the one who didn't become the new Messiah, that one. He's got the initial J, isn't he? Judah. He doesn't seem to have been into women or money. He did like the fame, he liked the attention. He only announced he wasn't the new Messiah after he had already become famous, world famous. So then you actually become even more famous for being humble by saying it's not me. Huh? Yeah. Whereas if he'd done that much earlier, before anyone knew his name or his reputation, then nobody would have noticed, and it'd just be a regular fella in the world, and he wouldn't have got attention. But he wisely, shrewdly, he waited until his reputation was up there first before he made the announcement. And then look at something like Theosophical Society, where Blavatsky was over and over exposed as a fraud, a cheat, a liar, a charlatan. Her partner, who was the real force behind the throne, Blavatsky was the public face, but the real force was Olcott. And he was not retired. He was active American intelligence. So there's some speculation that even the Theosophical Society was actually an intelligence operation by the American government. And that's why the Theosophical Society was anti-Christian, pro-Buddhism, pro-Hindu philosophy, but very anti-Christian. And according, I think his name's Miles Matthew, and according to him, he says the idea was the American government, they wanted all the tax money for themselves. They didn't want to share tax money. So it's a long time ago, isn't it? It's 130 years ago, and he explains it. So they wanted something about the church and taxes, and if the church go down, that was good, better, more taxes for the government, basically. Oh, the government didn't want to share power. Maybe it's power, not tax. It's about power, and they didn't like sharing power. People believed in both the president and the church. Well, you can't serve two masters, so the government a little bit jealous. And then you've got number 3 in the Theosophical Society, Leadbeater, and he was a serial paedophile. So when you look at these 3 guys, well, at the top of the Theosophical Society, you have to question if it's the real thing, or it's a very clever deception. Admittedly, Blavatsky was a genius. The question is, was she an inspired genius, or just a manipulative, control freak genius, that kind? So when you look around, it's not easy to find real organisations. You can mention any of them, and you peel away the surface a little, and underneath you find problems. And sometimes it's more than just little human quirks. They're just plain, in your face scams. Like California. Go to California, they have many cults, cult leaders. Usually money, women, and then there's the third one, the fame, worshipping me. Blavatsky seemed to be into the worship, the fame, and money. She didn't care about love. Not that kind of love. Or a Leadbeater, he liked little boys' love. Now, because this applies to nearly every organisation that we can see in the world, I'm talking about esoteric, occult, supposedly spiritual, trying to improve mankind's situation and the human condition, help the planet, spiritual evolution, supposedly, on the surface. We have to be very discerning, even when we think we've found the real thing. Like the White Eagle Lodge. If you just read the books, the teachings, at first glance, it seems to be the real thing. But so many of these organisations do. And then you scratch a little deeper, and the inconsistencies start to show. And so we have to be careful not to deceive ourselves, because the greatest weakness is inside ourselves. We want to be deceived. We want to hear the fairy story. We want to be told what we want to hear. Like the girl, she knows when the guy tells her he loves her. She knows he's lying deep down inside, but she just wants to hear the words. Makes her happy, gives her the feeling, the fake feeling. But we want to believe in the fake feeling. And so she says okay to him. But deep down, really, she doesn't know. She can't trust his words. Well, that's us with things like mystical Christianity, UFO cults, promises of psychic power, esoteric wisdom, all these groups that are out there, most of them, nearly all, are exploiting, knowingly, deliberately exploiting a weakness in the human mind. But we hope, don't we? We hope that somewhere out there, there's one organisation, there's one, maybe even a few that are, although they're not perfect, they're getting close to the truth, and they are a path to the truth. The question is, when we look closely at the White Eagle Lodge, well, no, not the lodge, that's human. When we look at, not the institution, when we look at the White Eagle teachings, are they the real thing? And the only way to know that, really, finally, is deep analysis of what exactly does White Eagle say? Not what do we think he says or we want him to say. What does he really say? And so in some of these videos, we're going to analyse his words carefully and check and find out the real teachings of White Eagle. The institution is human, so if we find problems there, that's not a reflection on White Eagle himself. That's just the worldly application, expression through human management. So it's always going to have problems. That's not a reason to dismiss the teachings, though. So rather than be gullible sheep, we're going to be intelligent, and insightful students of the White Eagle teachings and find out the real truth.